Hello and welcome to my workshop. Today I'm going to be filming part 6 of a 6-series videos about craft fairs, craft markets, Christmas markets, call them what you like. Hopefully you should find in the description that there are links to all the other 5 parts. Maybe go back and watch the ones that interest you. They're all quite short, so not too consuming to watch them all. And so this is part 6. This is really just to wrap it all up, bit of a conclusion, bit of a summary, and just to pass on some good pieces of advice that I've been given over the years and that I think would be good for you if you're just starting out, thinking about doing your first fair. Maybe you're thinking about doing your first Christmas fair at the end of this year and you're already preparing. Well done, because you need to aim off. So here we go. So just to summarize, in the first video was really just an introduction to the whole series, what I was hoping to cover and what I was going to be covering. Video 2 was about the different types of venue and different types of crowd that you can expect, and mistakes that I made to begin with. The third video was lessons that I've learnt along the way, mainly from my mistakes, but also from talking to other people at fairs, and how I've changed from the beginning where I was making no money at all to now where I'm making a reasonable amount. Video 4 was all about preparation, how to prepare for a fair, what you need to prepare. Video 5 was about pricing, and obviously today is just the conclusion and wrapping it all up. So questions that I've had are things like, what were my best sellers? Well, it depends. I have 2 very specific seasons depending on, basically Christmas and the rest of the year. So these planters that I make are very good sellers at certain times of the year, but not Christmas. But they're a very good seller. I sell a lot of those just on Marketplace as well as at the fairs. They do take up a lot of space on the craft table, so I tend to only take 1 with me and then just take an order form and take orders on the day rather than trying to take 6 of those and store them. I'm usually quite cramped for space. It's a 6-foot table that you usually get, and I don't usually get much room for stock other than under the table, so yeah, they're bulky. So other items are at Christmas. The cheese boards make very, very good sellers. Now, I sell mine as cheese boards rather than chopping boards because they're made of softwood. Obviously you can't have a chopping board made of softwood, but you can get away with having a cheese board made of softwood. So I have now got some hardwood and I'm going to do some chopping boards for this Christmas, but they're always a really good seller. And at the Christmas fairs, it starts from the really simple things like the little Christmas tree decorations, which are only £2.50, and the various Christmas tree designs that I do, which are £10. They're very good sellers as well. But my two best items have been my Christmas tree decorations, which are my cheapest item, and my large cheese board, which is my most expensive item. So there you go. Pricing wise, my most expensive and my cheapest are my 2 best sellers. I've mentioned in another fair, whatever you do, don't go to a car boot sale. I was advised to try a particular venue that we went to, did a lot of car boots, and they said, oh, come back tomorrow, there's a fantastic car boot sale. So I was going to, but please don't, because people are looking for a bargain and they don't care that you've handcrafted it. They went to a car boot sale there every week last year and they expected stuff to be £2 or £1, and the fact that your cheese board took you hours and hours to build, they don't care. They still want it for £1. So please don't take your handcrafted stuff to car boot sales. Practice makes perfect. I've got better as I've gone along, obviously through practice. I'm hoping that some of the advice that I give you in this video series will help to give you a bit of a leg up so that you don't have to go through quite that much pain as I went through in learning exercise. But ultimately you've got to get out there and you've got to try it, because things will be different in your area. Your markets will be different, your crowd will be different, so you've just got to get out there and try it and see what works and what doesn't. Last year I was going to do a large agricultural show which required £5 million of personal liability, or sorry, public liability insurance, and a big health and safety assessment, and I think it was £175 for the pitch or something, and I just decided it was too much hassle. Well, this year I have managed to get myself into a craft guild organisation, and they do these big agricultural shows, so I'm going to go along with them and have a stall in their big marquee. So they look after the insurance, they look after the health and safety, they even provide the marquee. I think they even provide a table, but I've got my own table anyway. So sometimes joining a larger organisation of other crafters can help, and obviously there's an awful lot of advice that you can get from these seasoned crafters. Talk to everyone. Talk to everyone at any craft fair that you go to. Talk to all the other stall holders, even if they're not selling anything along the lines of what you're selling. Just talk to everybody. Everybody wants to pass on advice that they've been given, or experience that they've gained, and everybody wants you to succeed. All the other stall holders want you to succeed, so they will give you good advice and they'll look after you. So talk to them, befriend them, get in with the network, and get well known on the scene, and they will look after you. Christmas markets. Of all the markets that I do, Christmas markets are the one where I sell my stuff. Yes, I sell a bit all year round, but Christmas markets, honestly, get yourself into some Christmas markets. It's an experience. You will need to book early because they are so popular, because they do sell well. A lot of people have got regular lists of people that they invite along, and they only actually open up other tables if they've got some spare, but the first lot of tables go to the people that they know well. So you might find it hard to get into some of the Christmas fairs, because, as I say, the regulars will get the places. But get talking to people, get into some craft organisations, and just slowly start worming your way onto the lists of people who are invited along to these events. You will sell more at a Christmas fair, well, depending on the sort of stuff that you sell. I've sold more at a Christmas fair than all my other fairs put together, so do Christmas fairs. But you will need to book early, as I say, because the earliest I've booked a Christmas fair was this year. I booked a Christmas fair in March, which is crazy, but the list went out, the invitations were sent out, and I put my name down. So you've got to get in there early, because otherwise somebody's going to come along in August and think, wow, it's not too late to book a Christmas fair. Well, the invitations went out in March. Probably all the places have gone by now. I also keep a spreadsheet of all of the Christmas market, well, all of the markets that I've done, where they're held, what date they were held, who the organizer was, how I contacted the organizer. Was it an email address? Was it a phone number? How much was the stall? How long was the fair? And that just gives you a good idea the following year, a bit of planning. They won't always be on the same date, and they won't necessarily always be the same person organising them, but at least you've starting off with some contacts. And that means you're ahead of the game for anybody who hasn't got a list of contacts and is trying to get hold of these people and doesn't know who they are. So keep as much information as you can. Do as many fairs as you can. Certainly to begin with, there was one that was bigged up on the island that I believed to be the biggest on the island. I was told it was the biggest on the island. It was a Christmas market. The pitch was 5 times what I would normally pay for a pitch, which kind of in itself made me believe the hype that it was going to be the biggest one out there. And it's twice what any other Christmas fair cost me. So I thought it was going to be brilliant. I was going to sell everything, and I sold hardly anything at all. And again, I went around and talked to the other stall holders, and they said that they'd hardly sold anything. It was a new venue. The organizer was trying a new venue, and it was a bit of a disaster, and didn't have the consistency. What you really want is you want the same venue year after year. The same crowd know that it's going to be there. They know the organisers. They know it's going to be well organised, and too much change in one year can be very disruptive. So, I've done that one. I don't need to do it again. I'll keep my money, thank you very much. As I think I said in one of my other videos, there is no such thing as a failure really in your fair, because even my one where I sold absolutely nothing at all, it was an amazing learning experience. I spoke to so many people, made so many contacts, gave out a lot of business cards, which ultimately could have led to sales further down in the year that I didn't know came from that fair. Lots of people got to know me, and you know, when I turned up at other fairs, they knew who I was, they knew what I sold, they knew that they liked my stuff. So yeah, it can be really, really disheartening to not sell anything, but don't treat it as a failure necessarily. If you can get your head around it and get past that, it's a learning experience. So just keep ploughing on, keep going, and don't give up. And finally, just to circle back on the whole thing where I said talk to everybody as much as you can, get as much advice as you can. One of the fairs that I went to last year where I didn't actually sell very much, it was just before Christmas, and I thought it might just catch the Christmas market, but it didn't quite, the Christmas mood. And but I talked to 2 people there who were in a crafting guild organisation. One of them, and they said, why don't you join this guild organisation? And I said, well, I can't because they're not taking new members because they're full. And she said, well, I'm giving up my membership at the end of the year, so I will talk to the secretary, who happened to be about 2 stalls away from me that I didn't know. And she basically effectively, you know, recommended me to take her place in the craft guild, which I've done. So, you know, even one where I didn't sell much, just by talking to people, getting to know all these people, you know, it's actually got me into a craft guild organisation that, you know, means I'm surrounded by people who know what they're doing, and as I say, means I can go and do these big agricultural shows hopefully as well. So talk to people, it's really worthwhile networking. Okay, well, I think that just about wraps up the video and the series. I've enjoyed doing it. It's been amazing to go through my notes and you know, see all the stuff I've written down over the last few months. I really hope that you guys enjoy it and get something out of it. If I can just encourage a few people to go out there and do a craft fair when they weren't really sure whether they could or not, then that will be mission accomplished, because you've got to get out there, you've got to do your first one, you've got to have your failures, and just work through them. And hopefully some of the advice that I've put into these videos, you know, has been useful to you. So if you've got any questions, any comments, please put them down below in the comments section. And if you've got time to like the video, that would be absolutely amazing. And if you haven't already, please check out the links in the description, which is all the other parts, all the other videos in this series. And if you've got time to subscribe to the channel, fantastic, amazing, thank you very much, because my numbers are creeping up. And so thank you to everybody who has already subscribed and liked the videos. And until next time, stay safe.